Divorce.
Yeah. So you got divorced when you were 20. What is that like when you're that young? No big deal.
Well, it was it wasn't that big of a deal, but I don't think divorce is a terrible thing. I think sometimes you make a mistake or whatever, and you think it's the right thing to do when you do it, and maybe you're not even sure it's the right thing to do, and then you do it. Best to get out.
So I had a girl ask on your channel. She said that she is young and married, I believe, and she's caught her husband in a bunch of lies.
Oh, I saw that comment.
Yeah.
Some people are just, these are just my opinions. So don't get divorced because of me. Some people are just habitual liars. My ex-husband was a habitual liar. He lied about things that were totally unnecessary to lie about. And then he probably lied about, but most of what he lied about was not really important to lie about. I think some people just find it easier to kind of tell you or to make, I don't know why people lie, but yeah, you don't really want to be with somebody, I don't think, that lies, because you'll never feel comfortable, you'll never feel good, you'll never be sure what they're saying is real or not. So I would say maybe some people need help. Maybe they need some help.
Therapy first.
Maybe if you're already married and you still really feel like you want it to work, maybe some therapy. Maybe there's reasons. Maybe as a kid his mother beat him if he said the wrong thing, and so he just became a liar. You don't really know what causes somebody to be who they are, and it could be something from his past that causes him to be that way.
Right. And then the next question I saw about divorce, their brother was married to a woman for 20 years, and they got divorced, and I think her and her daughters are still friendly with the woman that he divorced, but he's bitter and he has his parents not liking the woman he divorced, and so it's not a good situation. I would say not talk to the woman. I'd say family first.
It usually is family first, but it's funny because I have a lot of women that come in here that have sons that are older, of course, because it's, Lombok Key and there's a lot of older people. And a lot of times the moms, the mother of the boy, well, not a boy anymore, but a man, the mother of the man will actually continue a relationship with the ex-wife because they've made comments to me, I've liked all of his wives. Because men have a tendency to choose sometimes similar women or whatever, I don't know. But sometimes, they become part of your family and they kind of are part of your family, but your brother probably comes first and your parents come first. And if it's going to cause too much of a feud between your parents and your brother, I would choose the parents and the brother first.
And then have a secret side relationship.
Secret side lunches or whatever. But I wouldn't try to make an overly big deal about it, because when it really comes down to it, it's your parents and your brother that should be the most important people. Or I think so. I think that you really want to be happy in your life. And so you can't hold on to something if it's not good. So I think that, to me, it used to be back in the day that it was really a really bad thing to get divorced, but I think currently people really don't frown upon it so much. I think that if it's not good, if you're not happy, you really want to be happy.
What age do you find appropriate to get married so that it wouldn't end up in divorce?
I think that probably the best age for marriage is late 20s or beyond, because I don't think that you are really who you're going to be till you're maybe about 26 or 27. So if you have a likelihood, if you are with somebody and you're 26 or 27 or older, you're probably going to stay a similar person. But if you're 20 and say the guy is like 25, the chances are you may think he's really great, but as you grow up, you may realize that he's not as great as you thought he was. So it gets a little bit confusing because you don't really totally become who you are typically, unless you're overly mature until you're in your a little bit later 20s, I would say.
But it doesn't mean that all
Doesn't mean that all. I have seen, marriages where they met in high school or
your
junior
sister.
high. And they're in love and it works out well. They have kids young, they're married young, they have great lives, they're grandparents in their 40s and it works out beautifully. But if you want to be a little more careful, if you're concerned about possibly winding up in a divorce, I would say it's probably, I don't know statistically, I may be wrong, but I would say that it's more likely to be a marriage that would last if you're both similar age and a little bit, later 20s.
Oh, I'll make it about relationships if they want to ask about relationship
I'm
advice.
really not that good. People are asking about how to meet people,
Okay.
where to meet.
Yeah, where do you meet them? My dad said to meet people at the Apple store.
You know what? That is like, to me, if you go into an Apple store, everybody seems so smart and so interesting, and like they're not like, doesn't seem to be any losers in there. So if you are looking for a guy that's not a loser, I'm sure there's a few losers in there, but for the most part, I think in the Apple store, you get this sense that everybody's like kind of smart, kind of interesting, doing something, has something going on. So I think the Apple store is very good. And I think also, if you're in a area where there's like really high level colleges, maybe to hang out, even if you don't go to that school, hang out where those kids hang out, you're likely going to be people that would be smart and good. And I think it's not a bad idea to meet people in clubs and stuff, but it can't be like the bar with the pool table. That attracts maybe not the exact kind of person you would want to marry someday.
A club, though? See,
I don't really know. I don't go out anymore. But like in Pittsburgh, where I was from, there were a lot of places that you could go where the guys would be in suits after work.
Well, that would be a bar. That wouldn't be a club.
Okay, well, I guess it's
Because
not a
club is dancing, so they all want to hump
Okay.
on each other.
No.
So that's what
I
they're
don't like
looking
that.
for, is
I don't
humping
like
on each
that.
other. If a bar is a more intimate setting where you could have a conversation with a person, whereas a club, it's people just looking to have sex with one another.
Really? I don't like that. I don't like that.
Well, you got to think about it. I don't like dancing, so those people all want to like grind on each other. What kind of person are you going to find wanting to grind on you?
No, that's not good. That's not good. So I really don't know. You don't go to the library anymore. The Apple store, there's not an
How
Apple
about a
store
bookstore?
everywhere.
A lot of Barnes and Nobles have coffee shops in them.
That's a possibility. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. You really want to meet somebody that's a little more intellectual, I guess.
Cafeteria at a hospital.
I've told Lorraine that all day long, and she's never listened to me, but I think that she should pretend like her grandma's in the hospital, and she's sitting in the cafeteria, and she can just, flash her eyes at the guys coming through or whatever. But the other thing is you really need to know how to go after what you want. When I met your dad, and previous to meeting him, if I saw somebody I liked, I would start a conversation with them, and I think that's what you have to do as a girl, because a lot of girls that aren't so great get guys that are good because they're more aggressive. And because of the way things have shifted, where guys are a little more fearful and less aggressive, the guys that are more aggressive are usually the losers, are a better catch, I think, are typically a little more shy. And so that they would be more, they could wind up with a loser girl. They probably won't, because they then would hopefully realize it. But I think that if you see a guy that you like the way he looks and you're kind of attracted to him, then there's nothing wrong with trying to make a bit of a conversation.
Unless he has a wedding band on or has a female next to him.
That would be inappropriate, right?
Yes.
But yeah, you have to be aggressive. There are a lot of girls or women that go from one marriage to the next without any problem at all, and they don't have any more capability than, say, Lorraine or you or anybody else. They just are very aggressive.
Okay, and so tomorrow, if they have questions for you, you'll answer them if they write them below.
I'll do my best.
Okay.